Hello everybody and welcome back to the Top Flight Computers YouTube channel. My name is Connor and this is part 3, the finale of the Brandon Herrera build. So in this video right now, there's going to be kind of two bits of this. The first one is going to be in the studio here, filling up the loop. Right now we are leak testing it with just air. Right now that's what the yellow tube is right there. It's connected to a little pressure valve, and we're just waiting to see if there's any leaks or anything to that effect before we toss in any water. I'm going to go ahead and flush it with some distilled water, get any gunk that's inside of that out of there, and then we will be tossing in the, which I do not have sitting right up here, but the EK fluid, which will be the final fluid. Get this all buttoned up, and then part 2-ish, 3.2 I guess. The next bit of this video is going to be the delivery to Brandon. So stick around and let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the system passed the leak test for a pretty decent amount of time with holding pressure. So we're now going to go ahead and fill it up with some distilled water and kind of flush it out, just to do a double check to make sure that it actually is watertight. I put down some paper towels and things as a just in case, and another just in case is we have a separate power supply here that we then plugged the pump into, so I can circulate the pump just off this, so there's no electricity going to any of the electronics, thus you can't actually really damage them to a point. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. Alright everybody, and with that, this has been the Brandon Herrera build. I do apologize. There's a little bit of a windy boy storm happening right outside, so I'm kind of trying to speak up a little bit, and hopefully I can edit that out later. So I guess we shall see. So, system came out awesome. Most definitely a system that I'm very, very proud to have built and very proud to have worked on. So, we're going to go ahead and now jump on to the future and deliver this and see what Brandon thinks. So, I'll see you then.
Connor.
Yes, sir.
Moment of truth.
Yes, this has been, we looked it back up. It was like 3 months waiting.
Gotcha. I was gonna say that. I think we were right on 3 months.
Yep. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. This system has been trials, tribulations, blast, fun, trying to get parts, beg, borrow, steal.
I could see the pain in your eyes when you said fun. Yeah.
No,
How much would you say it would take? How long do you think it would take for you to build an average computer? Like something you guys would do, a basic rig.
Assuming we actually do live streams on that with Andrew and I, we can get it down to about an hour.
Wow.
Assuming one person does it, you're talking about maybe 2 hours or so.
So you said 27 hours?
27 hours.
Wow. Okay.
So there's benefit. yeah. So this is when you start getting that custom level of high-end computing, which is something that we specialize in.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
All right. Are you ready?
I don't know. Am I ready? Guys, am I ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now I'm kind of nervous. Like this whole thing, I've been super chill, and I'm like, all right, let's see.
Ready?
Yes. Wow.
So,
that's hard to describe.
Yep, so the fans are through a software called IQ, which we'll get into once we get into BIOS and everything to that effect. But, so this is Red Guardian is what we ended up naming it. Every single part of the case is one. If you take it apart and go through every screw, every nut, every bolt is weathered. We went through and even revealed the bluing finish on all of the parts. You have all of the grills and things to that effect are also weathered down.
That's insane. I promise you, I will never unscrew jack shit on this.
You are absolutely welcome to. I mean, we make these so that they're actually pretty easily serviceable.
It's just large. Like this is very sizable.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to say in photos and things like that what you're working with, but this right here, this takes up a lot of real estate. This is kind of crazy.
It does. So if you notice, the CPU block is actually walnut. It is a true wooden water block. So right up here.
Oh, that is all. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm like, I think that was some wood down there.
Yep. So that is a wooden CPU water block.
Wow.
You have a 64 gigs of RAM in here. There's upgradable up to 128 gig. On the back, you saw there are two 8 terabyte drives. So they'll be in what's called RAID. So you'll have a direct mirror. So if one of them dies, you will then immediately have the backup of all your data on the other drive. There's also two M.2 SSDs in there. One's a 512 gig and one's a 1 terabyte. So overall, you have, if we didn't RAID them, you would have had almost 20 terabytes of storage in the system.
Wow. So when you say you rated it, what does that mean?
So rating is you have 2 individual drives. There are 10 different versions of RAID, depending on how many drives you have and what you want.
My viewers are having flashbacks to RAID sponsorships.
I remember. Yeah. So rating with this is RAID 0 is you basically take both of those drives and put them together, and Windows reads it as one drive. Gotcha. So in this instance, you would have 16 terabytes. Quotes on that because you're going to lose some overhead.
Right.
But we went for RAID 1, which is a dual parity. So again, like I mentioned earlier, whenever you download CAD files, whenever you download videos, anything to that effect, there is an exact copy on the other drive. So if something ever happens to one of those, all of your data is still backed up. So you don't ever have to worry about it.
Yeah, because, CAD software never crashes.
Oh, absolutely not. Never does. And this is a Ryzen 9 3900X, which is the CPU. The graphics card is a Strix 2080 Ti. Again, water block on that. We have one Elgato capture card installed in there, and there will be another one which we grabbed from your old system and toss that on here. We got both of them. And then we wrapped the power supply in wood because it looked cool.
Fair enough.
That was about it.
That's half the battle, right?
Yeah,
it's gotta look cool.
That actually is. And then there are custom cables from CableMod. So this has probably about 1 liter of fluid running through it at any moment. You can see up here in this little left-hand corner, there's a flow meter. So it's a little spitty device that basically just allows you to see that you are still have liquid running through it.
Yeah, so this is my first time having any sort of experience with a liquid-cooled system.
Yeah.
So this is going to be vastly different. Probably not for me as the user, but it's neat to look at.
Yeah, as the user, basically it's power on, power off. And that's it. Everything else is still exactly normal.
I like that. There's not a lot that I can fuck up.
There isn't. Every once in a while, about once a year, you will have to just open the little drain valve down there, drain it, and refill it with fluid, just so that you get any gunk out of it. But it's super, super easy to process.
That is just rad.
And this is one of those computers where you'll just be able to kind of sit down and stare at it for many hours, just finding different details. There's a lot of hidden details and things in there that I'm not telling you because you'll find them eventually just by looking at it.
So if I send you a text at 1 o'clock in the morning, like, you bastard!
Oh yeah, you'll find them. You'll find them in there.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Yeah, this is insanely sci-fi looking. Like,
I think we kind of hit the aesthetic of the futuristic. I don't even know what it's
kind of like that comm block looking like.
Yep.
This is what Russia will be using in 2030, but we found it in 27.
But yep, no, that's exactly it. So I mean, I even went through and like this front panel is weathered differently than the rest of the cases and things like that. So there's not like a blue finish on this one or anything because I figured that would have been replaced. We went and I forego doing a lot of like the stampings and markings and things because I figured in this world, the society, they're not really tracking things at that point. You know, it's just throwing whatever you can together just to get it up and working.
We don't know anything about stuff like that.
No. And then
this is crazy looking. So I gotta ask about the bullet holes. How'd you guys do that?
Drill.
I kind of figured it would
Do you
be
know how
below
expensive it is?
Oh yeah.
That would have been a $1,000 upgrade right there.
Do you know the cost of 9mm right now? I fully believe that I could spend a couple hours staring at it because it's just like, I barely have a grasp on what I'm looking at, so that will improve over time, I'm sure. But, jeez.
And if you guys are curious on how we built this, our series just went live about our 3-part series on how we actually built this. And
I was told not to watch it.
Yeah, I was told.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
And that is basically going through in depth on all the parts, what they do, why we chose them, and then part 2 of that is basically all the building of it, and the time lapses and things. That's not on yet, but it will be.
Gotcha. So in order to watch that, they would have to subscribe.
Yep, they would have to subscribe to.
You would have to subscribe to Top Line.
All of these parts can actually be removed. That is so cool.
Great. I've got one thing I want to
One eternity later.
The coolness of just comparing the way this operates. Like it's... I'm a nerd. I think that's just neat. Yeah.
One other cool part that we did, originally in the render that I sent you in the CAD render, this blade was actually clear. So we made a clear one. So this part will then replace up in here. Oh shit. And there's just screws. I can show you how to do that as well. And then you can replace the red up in the front there.
That's crazy. So I honestly like this exactly the way it is. Like this looks awesome.
Ironically, this was actually just a test piece.
Really?
Yeah, I was testing it to do the red and how that would all come out, and I really liked it. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna keep it this way.
It looks rad. Like this has a... I've never even seen the movie, just the aesthetic. Like it has that Alita Battle Angel kind of like... Does that make any sense? Yeah. Okay. Half of this, like, I vaguely understand what I'm looking at, but I know it looks very cool.
It looks cool, but basically at its core, all it is it's just removing heat from heat-producing components in a way that is very aesthetic and looks nice. Yes. That's really all that it does. So basically, this is going to help stream, CAD, video edit, YouTube, whatever you want, just at a much cooler temperature. It makes processors and graphics cards run faster, better, and they stay basically alive longer.
So is it now fair to say that because it's going to allow me to do all that and do it faster and everything, that you guys take partial credit for the acceleration of the AK-50 project?
We may.
You may. Yeah. Yeah, he's just like, yes, that's extremely fair to say. In fact, I would say it louder.
one of our big things that we prioritize in the company is every single one of our computers that we send out is user upgradable.
Yeah.
Whether it be just adding a hard drive, adding a SSD, or something to that effect, or adding more RAM, is we just always want to prioritize there is a path forward.
Yeah.
Just in case. Because there's a lot of companies out there nowadays that'll just, not going to name any names, but majorly, or usually major box stores will just go through and they'll just say, here's a computer, that's all you got. You know, gaming, whatever. But that's not what we do, is we truly customize a system to be similar to your use case. Hey, I'm going to do streaming on this, but also want to do some CAD work and want to do some, you know, and then that's when you start getting into trade-offs on hardware, trade-offs on which pieces and things that you're going to want to prioritize and budgets and things to that effect.
Right.
And this one is just, you know, because more or less because we could. That's it.
Well, what better reason to do something?
Exactly. Exactly.
This is awesome. Yeah, I could just stare at this for hours.
Yeah, that's basically that was the goal. The end all be all goal.
I could say that you guys knocked it out of the park. This is really rad looking.
We appreciate it. It was a lot of work, but we're glad you okay. And hopefully you can get some use case out of it and really get that Twitch channel up and working.
Yeah, which you guys seem to have a lot of experience with that as well. So that I might have to be giving you a different call at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Hey,
help! It's broke. It's not broke, but I don't know what I'm doing.
I clicked go live and it didn't go live.
Yeah, I clicked the button and they don't see me.
Indeed it is.
This is crazy.
Other than that, I think we'll help you get this all set up. We'll do that off camera and
sure.
Hopefully get you all up and working.
They've got to give me the trade secrets that give it double the power it currently
Yes.
has. They just can't share that with anybody.
Right. It's the RGBs. I mean,
that's what I hear. I hear
Exactly.
that is direct correlation to your Twitch followers.
100%. 100%. I mean,
Makes sense.
more RGB equals more FPS.
That makes, of course,
And more FPS equals more DPS.
DPS.
Damage per second.
Ah, you know.
Exactly.
I'm learning. It looks like something that when Terminators attack, I have to kill.
Yeah, it's kind of the point. I mean, again, that was the whole point of this.
It's a very aggressive looking computer.
It's great. So, Brandon, I hope you like it.
I love it, man.
You use it. I hope you use it to its fullest extent. We gave you some awesome hardware.
I don't think it's possible for me to use this to its fullest extent, but I'll give it a shot.
Hey, that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask.
It's crazy looking, man.
And if you guys are interested in figuring out how this was built, like we mentioned before, you can go ahead and click on our YouTube channel right down there. I think it's
down over there. I think it's on my side, right? Yeah, it's down over here.
Down over there.
Right there.
Or you
What are
can
you
just
waiting
go
for?
back. Because this should be in a playlist if future me does everything correctly.
Assuming he didn't, go ahead and click that
Yeah.
subscribe button down there.
There you go.
Like the video, it helps him out. And guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
No,
This is
absolutely. Again, I hope
fantastic.
you use it, and I hope you can really utilize it. Honestly, that's really it.
I guarantee I'll get some use out of it. Probably nothing even close to what this is built to handle, but I'll give it a good old college try. Your college try, not my college
Hey,
try.
that works.
Excellent.
And we will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.